What up, YouTube land?
We're starting off immediately where we stopped, so
let's go.
Let's get right into this.
Well, yes, I would like to eliminate the cyborg police officers.
Oh god, how do you play this game?
Honestly, 360 still looks pretty gosh dang good.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about Platinum is that the game is a little like gray and just like it's not super impressive, but it runs at a pretty decent frame rate.
Well, frame rate's more important than anything, so we're good to go there. Ah, yes. Oh, thank you for the achievements.
That's too right, get it?
Cut off just his arm.
I could. Oh, he's literally just a torso right now.
I want you to fight an enemy that's just a torso and it still runs, it still like goes at you.
The grabbing enemies, if you cut off all their limbs, they don't die immediately, so they can still like headbutt you.
My god.
Yeah, so we're not going to be finishing the game tonight. This game's just a little bit too long with cutscenes and everything, so... But I'm going to be doing most of it.
As long as I meet the Senator, I'm good to go.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing much of the Senator this time.
Oh, is he like... Oh, I won't even say it. He's a later,
Yeah, they really save him. Like, you saw him last part, like, you didn't even see his, like, full face, I don't think. But, yeah, they save him as much as possible.
They knew. They knew what they had.
Oh, gosh, that actually scared me.
I was like, oh, hello. I'm this thing.
Oh, yes, we have to fight two of these things.
So is this the last canonical thing in the storyline for Metal Gear?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. And it's the most it will ever be.
That's fine.
Once in a while I think about, I'm like, all these franchises that just don't exist anymore. And I'm just like, and they all end up being Konami. And I'm like, thanks. I'm like, can you believe it's been 10 years since a Silent Hill game? Or 7 or so since a Metal Gear. Or I think 10 years since a Castlevania.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
I think the last Castlevania game ever made was the 3DS one. Or although it might have been Lords of Shadows 2. One of the two.
Lords of Shadow, the 3DS one, came out between 1 and 2.
What a swan song. Lords of Shadows 2.
Yeah, that game is really hated for some reason. I don't think it's that bad. I think a lot of people just get filtered by the stealth segments, which admittedly are not good. But I think some people just think that they're like way worse than they actually are. Oh, I would like this. Thank you.
What are these things again?
Just generic armored tanks.
I don't know.
They're not the moo cows, if that's what you're thinking.
No, I was just wondering if they were like a type of Metal Gear or what.
I don't know. They're just, yeah, just some generic sort of bipedal thing. They're actually pretty low-tech when you consider Metal Gear at this point, like, where the franchise is in the timeline.
Yeah. The literal grunts.
Gotta hit this button instead of slicing the door open.
Oh, come on. You gotta leave the door for the citizens of this place.
Can't cut this glass either. Was that just a random person?
Yeah.
I'll have to go the rest of the way out.
Oh.
You really have to do this.
Look, I'm fed up with all of Companies like ours, yours, bend the laws when it suits.
Remember
business.
Japan?
Why not bend it when it can save innocent lives?
Raiden.
Boris, listen to me.
Yeah, they used to be good. I miss
They'll
them.
be warped into
Gone
killing
forever now.
machines. They'll be set on POWs,
Forever and ever.
civilians. It'll be one atrocity after another.
Like what you went through.
We can't have any more Jack the Rippers. You saw what happened with George. I'm doing this, Boris.
He's the Dalamon now.
I can't
Sorry,
take
no
those
one will get
kids
that
from
reference,
the
and that's
inside
okay.
out, but I can stop
I do like where this
murderers.
plot kind of goes, as shallow and basic as it is. I mean, Jack is so
Just so happens I
hell-bent
know
on doing this
great
because he's
cyber
literally a
things.
child soldier. I mean, he's going through, like, basically the same thing that these kids
You
are.
won't change my mind, Boris. This is my fight now.
And your wife and son? What of them?
They're in New Zealand. Safe. Rose would understand why I have to do this.
I'm glad that they brought them up,
All right.
even though it doesn't make any sense that
You
he's
do
a
realize Marshall has the contract for
military
law enforcement
cyborg anymore after the
They
ending
are
of
the
4.
law in Denver.
Yeah.
Rose! Remember?
Officially,
The entire point of MGS4 is him realizing that he's more than just a human weapon, because he, like, just wants to be useful to Snake so bad.
now,
But the entire,
here's your conclusion.
ending cutscene where he's in the hospital bed and Rose and his kid show up.
And unofficially.
Cool. It's like one of the good things about 4.
I do not like what those Mudaki are doing anymore.
Remember when,
Remember dialogue scenes that go on for 10 million years?
guess you can walk around in this. Remember Zero? That's just... Oh, he's leaking green.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
What if Metal Gear Rising was a mixture of this and the game Black, the shooter Black, where like the whole gimmick of that game was you could just destroy everything in the setting. You could just slice everything.
That'd be awesome. I think if this game had more development time, I think it might have been like that. But I don't think I ever brought this up the first part, but as you remember, Metal Gear Rising had a really weird development cycle where it was originally made in-house at Konami, but it was in development hell, and they couldn't really make a game out of it. And you can still see, there's like a actual like... Hello? You can still see the original like tech demos for it, where they're like cutting through like a watermelon and like,
I remember that.
it like looks awesome, but it also looks really like barely a game. It looks like they thought of the cutting mechanics first and then didn't make a
See,
game.
it's funny because when we went to go play this, I thought it was going to be like that. Like, I thought it was just like, you can cut anything.
No, but that game was in development hell, and eventually they just canceled it. And they were like, they still wanted to do like a Raiden Rising game, but they just handed it off to Platinum. And in those cases, because they already spent a bunch of money on it, they did not give Platinum a whole lot of time or money to make this game. So the fact that it ended up being as good as it is kind of amazing.
Inside that office, use it to reach the roof. Traveling atop buildings will minimize
Did you know Wolf is actually the DNA of Sniper Wolf from Metal Gear Solid 1?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But also Raven, too. Vulcan Raven. Dude, remember Vulcan Raven? Remember Metal Gear 1?
He's a lot more memorable than a lot of the later Cobra Unit clones.
I do not remember a
Or-
single...
Not Cobra Unit, whatever the MGS1 thing was called.
I don't remember a single bad guy from Metal Gear Solid 4, besides Ocelot, obviously.
Yeah, it was like those generic women that had,
I remember the one fight was in like an auditorium and it was pretty cool, but I don't even remember what the fight was. Like a circular auditorium, I think.
Is that the one with the Psycho Mantis one?
I think so.
You have the octopus fight where she like decoys herself. I mean, all of them are like just throwbacks to older fights. Like Decoy Octopus, there's a Beauty and the Beast version of that. And then you had the Raging Raven, I think it's called. It's one of the worst fights in the series, where you're in the clock tower rooftops and you have to shoot like a bunch of flying things. I hate 4.
Remember the PS3?
You sure you can pilot that chopper by yourself?
I think MGS4 is forever going to be stuck on the PS3. It's never ever going to get ported.
Oh yeah, why would they? I mean, especially at this point, you know.
But it's just weird. I mean, it's the last serious. I mean, this game isn't that serious. I would say MGS4 is like the actual like capstone to the like timeline. This is just like a whatever side story.
Yeah, I would agree. At least from what I'm seeing so far.
Nevertheless, the data I did find should prove most useful. So please.
Yeah, when they were
I don't care.
when they were making Metal Gear Solid 5, I was like, why? Because like just Metal Gear Solid 4 is the end of it. I mean, obviously 5 is a prequel.
Yeah,
but
it takes place after Peace Walker.
But it's also like, bruh, if there's ever a time to stop the series, it's there. Ooh, things. Snipe him, bro.
Oh, too late.
Were you literally trying not to get seen?
It doesn't matter.
What was that just now?
There's a lot of fighting in this part. I think the next 2 stages, like this stage and the next stage, kind of drag. There's too many fights.
Alright. Metal Gear Solid 1 has the best story. Metal Gear Solid 2 has the best gameplay, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is the best overall. There we go.
Yeah, I would say 3 probably has the best gameplay. I don't know which one you said.
2.
Although 5 is probably the best gameplay now that I think about it. But 3 is the best overall game, 2 is the best story, 1 is the best characters and story.
Yeah, 1's definitely the best characters.
Yeah, MGS2 is the best story, but MGS1 has the best characters in, like, theming.
Wasn't Vamp in 4?
Yeah, Vamp is in 4. He's, like, sort of the rival to Raiden in that. I mean, Raiden just gets... They just demolish him in MGS4. He has to do, like, the hardest fights, and, like, Old Snake that barely does anything.
Maybe Kojima was just so mad at people being mad about Raiden that he was like, fine, punish Raiden.
But yeah, there's so many fights with him versus Vamp where, I mean, Vamp is basically immortal, even though Raiden is like a super soldier. He's essentially immortal, and he just does fights where he just gets BTFO constantly.
What happens to Vamp in the story?
He eventually dies. Naomi, oh yeah, right. Naomi injects nanomachines into him, where he finally dies.
Who's Naomi again?
The girl who, the scientist girl. Oh god.
Sorry.
The scientist girl. What am I supposed to do about this? Sure, whatever. This is awesome. Oh god, not that button. No. Buttons. X.
Xbox 360.
I hate these guys. Alright, let's cut off his arms. You can't deflect the yellow attacks, if you're wondering why I'm doing that.
Oh, okay. BMI error? Body mass index error?
Where'd you see that?
It said on the, as he was like staggering around.
Oh, okay, yeah. P, how? Yep.
Otacon!
What was I saying? Oh yeah, Naomi is the scientist girl from MGS1. She was originally the scientist who injected fox dye into Snake. Because she was mad.
Thanks, Naomi. I remember her now, yeah. What the? What are you supposed to do about that?
You probably could have stealth-killed him. Yeah, thanks. Whatever's happening. I don't remember a helicopter being here last time.
When's the last time you played this?
I practiced this part last week before we canceled. Oh god, that was so awkward.
What was that?
We did it, I guess. Let me go. I think I stealth killed that guy the last time, and then the helicopter doesn't show up. So that's a good reason not to do that.
Lads, can I tell you something? Costco's chicken bakes that you can just take home and make, bruh. That's all I have to say is the word bruh.
They're pretty good. I definitely like their fresh made ones better, but both of them are good.
I need to just go there and just get a whole pizza. You know they don't sell like the cold pizzas anymore, the ones that, like, you make at home.
Oh really? Yeah, I haven't.
Dude, it's been like
I don't even have like an active membership.
every time I go, I'm like, where are they? It's so weird that they're like, nah, we're done making these pizzas. You can still get them like made, you know, and they're still like $10 for the biggest pizza in the world. But it's just very weird that they're like, nope, that's it. They still have, like, every time you go in, like 40,000 rotisserie chickens and stuff like that. But they're like, absolutely not.
I don't know.
Pizza, maybe. Forget about it. The cheapest thing in the entire world to make, forget about it.
And I see people buy them constantly, so that's pretty weird.
You cannot proceed any further via the rooftops. There is a freight railroad underground. The elevator ahead will take you to it.
Oh yeah, this part. This part sucks. This mission sucks in general. This is cool though.
God.
What?
That makes me feel so... Like, I hate games where they make you, like, fall off something high, especially first-person games.
Oh yeah?
I don't like heights.
Have you ever played Mirror's Edge?
No.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to.
That's the entire game is just acrobatics in first person when you're on rooftops.
One I did play that was kind of similar was Dying Light, because that game's all about like parkouring and stuff, although obviously not as crazy as Mirror's Edge. And the spoilers, final boss, which I don't remember anything about it, but like you're like on some crazy high scaffolding, you know, kind of thing, and you like hang off the edge, and it's not a big fan. But I guess mostly for first person. Third person's not as bad.
Yeah. So this part is very rough. It is literally pitch black, and you can only use your enhanced vision. Oh, God, you can barely see what you're doing. But you can only use your enhanced sight when you're not attacking or sprinting. So even when you do like a takedown, your augmented vision goes black and you can't see what you're doing. It's so awkward.
At least it's something different.
It is
like the first
different.
15 minutes there was just like fight.
I do agree that, especially this. I'm trying to do this mission and next mission as the part. Hello, can you turn around?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fight this guy.
Can they see at night in the dark?
Of course they can. Turn around, idiot. No. God damn.
I'm the grabber. I grab things.
Yeah, I have no idea what these are actually supposed to, like, be. If they're just, like, cyborgs or just, like, automated robots. I really have no idea.
Automated robot orangutan. Orangutangu!
I just wish you could keep your augmented vision going while you're running or doing anything.
I guess that's, I don't know, that's a way to make it harder, I guess.
Doesn't turn around, thank you. But, like, you can't even, like, see your...
Yeah, that's lame.
Like, you can't see what you're
is
doing!
going on? Oh, that was kind of cool. Kojima-san?
I think
What the? Oh, Little Tiny Things.
Love them.
Do you watch the YouTube series What Happened with Matt McMuscles?
Yeah, I watched some of them.
Man, they're so interesting. And I think there's a couple platinum ones that I watched recently. Like, a lot of times it ends up being the same thing where it's just like, publisher was annoying, or, you know, developer didn't listen to publisher and stuff like that. I like how for, I forget which game it was. It might have been Metroid Prime, where the original director... Yeah, it was Metroid Prime. The original director that was part of it, like, Nintendo was like, we want to see these things, and he was just like, no. And when Nintendo, like, would like, leave the meeting or whatever, he'd be like, do things the way I want them. And, then Nintendo found out, and they were not happy, and they definitely let him go.
Yeah, the entire Metroid Prime development cycle was an absolute disaster.
It's amazing that game is amazing.
It was, like, so close to being canceled multiple times, and Retro, like, as a studio was going to be, like, broken up.
Well, because even 20 years ago, Nintendo were, like, the kings. So imagine, like, Nintendo being like, make this game, and you being the director and just being like, sure, but I'm going to do it the way I want to. And they're like, well, what if you do this? And he's like, no. And then they're like, can we see a test build? And then you show it to them, and they're like, this isn't anything what we asked for. And you're like, oh, really? Is it? That's weird. Like, that's some cajoles.
Yeah, some dev teams, especially with the directors, they are just so full of themselves for, like, no reason at all.
I want to, I wonder if they have one of those stories on that, Double Fine game, the 3.3 million one or whatever. I forget how much money they raised.
Yeah, Tim Schafer, Double Fine.
Can you believe Psychonauts 2 came out and I haven't heard a single thing about it?
I hear that it's generally good. It's just like, I don't know.
It's because it's Xbox only.
It's Xbox only, didn't get a physical copy, so like I don't want to play it because I don't want to both have an Xbox and also pay for a digital game, so it's just like, I don't care.
Those stairs lead to a shortcut to World Marshal Headquarters.
I would probably literally, I would borrow an Xbox to play it if it was physical. I just can't believe a game like that doesn't get a physical copy.
I cannot stand digital-only games, like, unless it's something I desperately want to play. It's just like, it's just market suicide for someone like me.
Or like an indie title is fine. But even a lot of the indie titles I play, like the really bad adventure games, still get some sort of physical release. Nothing personal, kid.
I think this part is almost ending, thankfully. But it's just like, do you want to fight one of these armored tanks 5 times? It's like, no, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, this has been definitely the weakest part so far, no question. At least for me watching it. Like, the part you just did was cool with the darkness, but besides that, it's like, walk to a place, fight, walk to a place, fight, you know? Not even broken up by anything besides, like, a walk and talk cutscene. You know what game you should do for your future LP is Deadly Premonition.
Yeah, maybe. It's gonna be a long time from now, though.
I get it. I started the PS3 one and I enjoyed it, but I just don't think I had the time because it was kind of a timely game.
I actually have the next several months of LPs planned, so get hyped for that.
Does it all involve Guitar Hero?
Well, yes, but also something else.
Ooh. I mean, Guitar Hero is Guitar Hero, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be something else. You know how much we wanted one of those. Yeah, that's a 22-year-old Family Guy reference. What do you want? Do you know Family Guy's still on? Do you know Family Guy and Simpsons are still on? And King of the Hill isn't?
I was watching some YouTube video, like, they were, like, covering some of the newer Family Guy episodes, and they looked so terrible. And it's just, like, the show isn't even just not funny, it's, like, newer Family Guy seems, like, so mean-spirited, and, like, just, like, they just flanderize the characters, but they're all just, like, ginormous buttholes.
Yeah, I mean, Zombie Simpsons is awful, but it's, like, just going through the motions awful.
Yeah, but like the stuff that they do to like, I mean, I get it, like Meg sucks, but I was like watching some of the things they were doing to Meg in like newer seasons. I was like, God, I feel so bad.
Remember when Seth MacFarlane had 3 shows at the same time?
And I think that was at the point where he was, how did they not see me? Seth MacFarlane was also doing a bunch of those movies. Like, he did, like, Ted and that Western that sucks.
A Million Ways to Die in the West, and everyone hates that.
And Ted 2, and I think that was, like, he was doing 3 shows at the time, and those movies, all at once, and it's like, oh, okay.
Ted is bad, but it's not, like, the worst thing in the world. Like, it's just one of those things where you're like, yep, that's fine.
What?
What?
That was really weird.
I think American Dad might literally still be running. It was like...
Of what I watch, I think American Dad is...
Oh, American Dad's easily the best.
Yeah.
I feel like Seth MacFarlane only does the voice of Stan, and then he's like, alright, I have no part of this.
I doubt he has anything to do with modern Family Guy either.
I mean, it's a pretty sweet gig, right? Let me see if American Dad's still running.
Oh, doesn't he do that Star Trek parody show?
Yes, that's right.
What's it called? The Orville or something?
Dude, 19 seasons. American Dad has 330 episodes. What in the world?
It's like, with TV dying, it's like, how many views do they possibly get?
I gotta see if it's...
Okay, this chapter's finally, I mean, there's still a bit to go, but the main
Dude, the
portion is
19th
done.
season premiered, like, recently. The series was renewed for seasons 20 and 21. Holy crap. That's amazing. Oh my god, Family Guy has 385 episodes. Good lord.
All about that syndication, son.
Seriously. Oh my god, The Simpsons has 722 episodes. You might as well go for 1,000 now. Whatever. You've already ruined the name, you know, the namesake.
You've killed up to now. Maybe they weren't kids, but they were people. You ever think about them? When you're jumping up into hamburger?
They're adults. They made their choice.
Sure they're adults. Sure they signed up for this. Right on the dotted line of their PMC contract.
But I thought they were cyborgs.
Strangers to war. In fact, many times they already lost.
Well, they probably signed the contract then become cyborgs. I'm gonna guess anyway.
Starving on the street. So yes, they sign up for surgery to fight God knows where. How else would you provide for your family? when your country's embroiled in civil war. Pain receptors shut down, pumped full of fear inhibiting nanomachines and sent right into the blender. Your blender? But they made their choice, right? Open your eye and see, Raiden.
I've seen plenty.
Then listen. Those battlefield emotions that the nanos suppress. Listen to them.
What are you talking about?
Shh.
Not grunts!
Can we take him? What's wrong? The way he killed all the others. God. Please, God, don't let me die. Let's do this.
Wait, can you hear their thoughts?
This isn't fair. Little punk.
Listen closely now.
Die! This life. Watch my wife and son die. This is all I have left. You ain't shit! Goddamn, I need you, my way. And you're not. I didn't know what I was signing up for.
Raiden!
Jobbing to random grunts.
I know, seriously.
It's like when Zack dies as Shinra grunts.
Dude, that's the worst.
Finish him off! Stop it!
Get out of my head! Leave my brain alone!
I mean, I was